interesting woman. She teaches me a lot. I like to say she's a petty princess living in a petty castle. And by that I mean she's just a petty woman living in a lovely house in West London bought for her by my dad. But she's taught me a lot, especially when her and my dad are separating. Lots of life lessons. Anyone's parents separate when they were younger? It's always like a... I don't know about you guys, but for me, like, I don't really remember what my dad said when he told me like him and my mum were separating. I just remember having a lot of questions. I was like, okay, well, who am I spending Christmas with? Who's going to pick me up on Tuesday at ballet? And does love really exist? 25 was a really hard year for me. Their separation took like a lot of twists and turns, mainly because no one knew what the fuck they were doing. And much like 18-year-old me going through heartbreak, everyone was just being really weird and burning things. I burnt one thing. It was a Man City shirt. I could not have predicted how well they do in the Premier League. People are like, yeah, burn it! Oh, look, get your girl who can do both. Stand up in football, crazy. Anyway, they were doing a lot of weird shit, so was I. I was pretending to be a meerkat for 4 weeks. I went to drama school. Just in case you didn't get that. They have like 40 different calls. It's a lot to learn when you're going through an emotionally difficult time. Anyway, my dad also did a lot of weird things. He bought a waterbed. He started yoga. And then he started dating the receptionist at our local gym who was my age. Don't worry, my mum also did weird things. She made friends with this like mysterious cop, and then also started watching like repeats of Loose Woman for what she called inspiration for revenge. There's one thing she taught me, is that I thought 18-year-old girls going through heartbreak were crazy. 64-year-old woman going through divorce were crazier. At the time she was like, Cords, don't worry, like I've got a plan. And I was like, okay, if she's anything like me, we're gonna need a fire extinguisher and also to duct tape my dad's letterboxes. The letterbox thing is because once when I was 18, a boy wronged me. And I thought the only way to get revenge was I was gonna wait for nightfall. And under the cloak of darkness, I was gonna go to his house and I was going to shove cheesy chips into his letterbox. Not a box. Individual fucking cheesy chips through a letterbox with the bristles like this. I mean, could you, I still don't know if he knows it was me, but could you imagine waking up in the morning being like, starting my day, walking down the stairs and you're like, what kind of fucking hate crime is this? Anyway, my parents had decided they would separate but they wouldn't divorce. So my dad thought. Now for this to work, I'm going to ask you to do a little game. We're going to play a little game. If you think my mum is being cunty, you're going to woo. You're going to woo. And by cunty, I mean like iconic, for those who do not know. If you think my mum is being a sick cunt, you're going to scream in horror. It could be small. It could just be like, oh. Maybe not as musically, like, oh my god. Did you just see me discover I can sing? What was that? Those are the rules of the game. Also, just to like asterisk this, my parents have seen the set, they've consented, they watched it last week, they voted it their favourite story, no one is in pain anymore. Feel free to woo. So my mum's like, Courtney, I've got this plan, but nothing happens for months. And then we're at my dad's best friend's birthday. His name's Pete. It's my 3 brothers, it's me, it's my mum, it's my dad, it's Pete, it's his birthday. So my dad goes up and he does his speech, he starts and he's like, happy birthday, Pete. I hope you have an amazing... And the door opens in this venue above a pub and a man in a suit stands there. We're all like, I don't fucking know who that is, but okay. Think nothing of it, my dad restarts. Happy birthday, Pete, I hope you have an amazing... And this man in a suit walks up to my dad and he goes, are you Arthur Buchan? And my dad goes, yes. What's my dad's accent?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect, because he's South African. And this man in a suit goes, you've been served. Oh. What is okay, my mum waited fucking months to serve my dad divorce papers in front of everyone he loved and adored and said to the lawyer to time it so that it was in the middle of his birthday speech to his best friend Pete. Is my mum a sick cunt or is she cunty? Everyone is really messed up, okay? From the set. At the time I was like, okay, what's the lesson my mum was trying to teach me? So I said to her, what were you thinking? Like, what are you teaching me about love? She pours herself a Sauvignon Blanc. And she goes, Courtney, if I can teach you one thing about love, that if you think you've humiliated your partner enough, you can always dig a little deeper. And then she sips her Sauv Blanc. And she goes, because Nu, which is my nickname, because Nu, the devil works hard, but your mama works harder. I had to bump into the girlfriend quite a few times. Like, she's the receptionist at my local gym. Her name starts with an H, it rhymes with banana, it's Hannah. But I get there, every time I get there, she runs away from me. So I was like, I've had enough of this. So I said to her, Hannah, listen, I don't want another woman to feel uncomfortable in the workplace. I'm a feminist like that. But also, I don't want to feel uncomfortable while I'm doing my squats. Whatever you and my dad are doing on that waterbed, put it behind us. She cries. She's like, oh, your dad always said you were such an amazing girl. I'm just like, we are the same age, I am a woman. Anyway, my mom hears about this conversation and she goes, Courtney, I heard about what you said to Hannah. And I'm inspired. And I'm shitting myself, rightfully so, because a few days after this, my mom does something a little bit crazy. And I get 10 missed calls from the gym receptionist, 4 missed calls from my Zumba teacher. I'm bringing Zumba back, okay? So I love this Zumba fitness. Anyway, and I get a voice note from my best friend, Helena. And this is what Helena had to say.
Courtney, you have to pick up your phone. This is actually not a joke, but I'm at the gym and I'm sat waiting for my class to start, and at the corner of my eye I spotted your mum walk in, so I went to go find her, and she's literally got Hannah cornered by the area, you know where the door is. She's flailing her arms everywhere. She looks really, really mad. And I don't know whether to go over to her stop, and people are coming over thinking like, can you call Courtney, like get her to come down here because her mum is on the warpath and she's like shouting. People are coming over to me like, what do you want me to do? Because my class is in like literally 2 minutes. So I go back to my class, do the class for about an hour long, and then come out and see what happens, or should I go stop your mum, try and take your mum away? Like, what do you want me to do?
My mom didn't punch Hannah. She did something way worse. She invited her over to the family home to share paella. And as I'm sitting there, my mom on one side, Hannah on the other, I'm like, what the fuck is my mom trying to teach me now? And the only thing I can imagine her saying was I can imagine her saying, Courtney, if I can teach you one thing in life, it's that sometimes revenge is best served over jumbo prawns and sangria. Flash forward to Mother's Day. I go over to my mum on Mother's Day. I'm with Maddie actually, and my mum's like, Courtney, I'm very upset. I'm like, why are you upset? She goes, well, I'm scrolling through my iPad and I come across these screenshots of private conversations your father's had with his best friend about me when we were separating. And he says some horrible things. And I'm like, oh, that's so sad. And then I'm like, wait, why do you have screenshots of private conversations my dad had with his best friend? And my mum goes, Courtney, I swear to God, if you put my answer in your stand-up set, I'm going to fucking kill you, because I'm pretty sure it's illegal in the UK. I googled it. It is illegal in the UK. And that is when I learned that my mom knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, and that mysterious cop will not ask you any questions. So if you need anyone hacked, Laurie Ann Buchner, Facebook. My parents are back together. Oh. Every night that gets a different reaction. Yeah, my mom kind of did all this stuff, and then she was like, oh my God, maybe I'm pulling his pigtails because I love him. So I thought, like, I'm going to go downstairs and ask my dad, like, just, did he know? Like, did you know that mum hacked into all of your things, or emails, or texts, everything? And my dad says,
no. I was no fucking clue, actually.
I wasn't expecting that. My dad says, yes, because he's South African. And I was like, okay, well, what are you teaching me? Like, what is the lesson here? And he was like, Courtney, if I can teach you one lesson in life, it's that you should always be with a partner who keeps you on your toes. I don't know if it's more fucked up, but what I wanted to keep in is, when I was this set came in at the beginning of the run, and I wanted to tell you what my mom's reaction was to the set, because obviously I had to ask for her consent. So I do the whole set, and then she goes, Courtney, I'm very concerned. I guess I'm just very worried. I just don't want people to see me as the victim.